Jonathan, it's time again for a brand new sit and go. I'm excited because we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. We have Joseph defending his title. If you remember last time, he really kind of eked one out there somehow. We got Action Aaron in there, which is great. We have Brandon Cantu, who's always fun to have on the show, and we have some new players as well.
Of course, this is a $1,000 buy-in tournament. It's just the 8 players, though. It's a sit and go. And first place is $5,000. Second place, $2,000. Third place, $1,000. Everyone else leaves with nothing, Grant. Of course, first place also gets that $100 free Nitrogen sports bet.
Let's see how it starts out.
Finally going to crack open another fresh case of Poker Time. Sit and go.
Yep. There's one of our new players, Austin, on the right there. You all know Joseph, of course.
Of course, he won the last sit and go. There's
Shaggy is adorned with something.
Yep.
There's Thorpe. You remember him from some of our cash games.
That's actually Shaggy
No,
right there.
that's Shaggy. I said Snuggy. Snuggy and Shaggy, that's going to be confusing. Now, we don't have the cards yet, but Thorpe has raised to 400. We are at 50 and 100.
Yep. And
it looks like he wins and shows aces. Okay, that's disappointing first hand for Thorpe.
Yep. Also disappointing for our technical crew, who's apparently not on top of the cards yet.
We're lucky that he showed.
Yeah, you know
Let's
what?
just consider ourselves fortunate.
No one else had a playable hand. It went very quickly. No problem at all. There we go. Now we know what's going on. Apparently, Brandon Cantu had 8-3 off.
That was the last hand, yeah. Good to know.
So, you know.
We know that Brandon Cantu folds 8-3 off under the gun in the first hand of a sit and go.
Yep. So, just to be clear, that is Snuggy there in the big blind.
Snuggy, not Shaggy. Shaggy's the other guy who's new, who's in seat 8 over there, or I guess it's
we'll see him
seat
in a
7
second.
technically.
All right, looks like we got the cards working now. To everyone's happiness.
Somebody is not in their seat right now. It seems like a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
This is a scheduled event.
The name was Dank also, so that's pretty sweet.
That is sweet.
All right. And Action Aaron's not here yet either, but time waits for no man, and neither does the poker guy's sit and go, apparently.
At least there's no antes or anything yet.
Yeah, it's early. If you're going to miss any hands, it's time to do it.
Well, Thorpe does not like that flop. I wonder if he'll see bet. Well, Snuggy's going to lead.
Get a chance to, it looks like.
You got to buy more of those shirts. You got to lead some of these flops, you know?
This is an unusual lead for sure, but I guess when you have no equity, you're going to put a lot of pressure on someone who doesn't have an ace. And
he's got equity. He's got king high.
Okay.
That's decent equity against Thorpe's range.
Thorpe opened, right?
Yeah. Thorpe could have a bunch of jack high, queen high hands.
Okay. Fair enough. But
don't
at least
pretend he can't, Levy.
Let me put it this way. A playable equity. Like, we're going to be check folding 100% of the time, right? Unless I guess we could be check raising, but we're never calling.
I call on that board sometimes with king high against certain opponents.
King deuce?
Not
on
in
the first, second hand?
No, not in the second hand. But there are times when I've called down with hands like that.
That's a great little story you told us, and I'm sure everyone's really excited to have heard it.
I think you misrepresent what king high means to the people, Jonathan.
I think
king high means a lot. There's Aaron. Look at him in the back. He's getting over to his seat.
Yep.
Paying his buy-in.
His chips were there before he had even paid his buy-in. That's how sure we were that Action Aaron was playing. Dank's still not here, but
he's probably smoking weed. Am I right?
You know, it is legal.
His name is
to do
Dank.
that in this state, but I don't know if that's actually what's going on. Joseph picks up a real hand.
A name implication. Joseph is probably smoking some Joseph.
Action Aaron, not interested in playing the old 9-4 suited, but Austin looks interested.
All right. Looks like we're going to get our first action out of Austin. Let's see how he plays. I assume he's going to 3-bet if he's going to play, right?
Well, I don't know. We don't know anything about this guy.
I mean, if he knows what he's doing.
Looks like that is a 3-bet.
Yep.
It's pretty aggressive here on hand number 4.
There are no antes to win.
It's ace deuce off and hijack opened. Joseph not going to be folding this one. This would work, though, certainly against a fair amount of Joseph's range, and it's better than calling.
The question for Joseph is 4-bet or call. We're kind of deep for a 4-bet.
I think we should be calling. We have 120 blinds, and we're probably not getting in against like queens plus. You know, that's probably as good as it gets. I don't think Austin's going to get it on with jacks here without knowing anything about him.
Well, Austin's going to get to win this a lot.
Yeah. This should really work out pretty well. It's a pretty good flop for Joseph, though. I don't think he's going to fold for 1 bet here.
Probably not if it's a normal-sized bet.
Right.
This is kind of a scary flop for Austin as well. Joseph hits that board pretty hard with a lot of his range, so Austin may not feel like c-betting, but I guess he's decided he doesn't have enough equity to not c-bet.
Yeah, he's repping the overpair, and
looks like about a half-pot bet.
I don't think Joseph can fold yet. Joseph has been notoriously tight in these sit-and-goes, although he did win the last one. That said, overs and the draw to the nuts feels just too tight to let go of right away.
He's not folding, it looks like. And, well, sometimes Joseph messes around with chips and then folds anyway, but he does call here.
He shoots a look at Austin and then shorts the pot.
Trying to distract Austin
Just
from the
for a
pot
second.
shorting.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Well, that's not a great card for Joseph.
Will Austin continue to continue?
Joseph didn't raise, so Austin can still rep an overpair.
Oh, yeah.
You can continue betting an overpair against an unraised flop here.
Austin could easily have top set, middle set, and all the overpairs.
Maybe even ace-jack.
Yep. Could have it. I mean, clearly he can since he has ace-deuce, but we would think that's possible.
And
Looks
he's going to
like
keep going for
This
it.
is probably going to work now. It's going to be tough for Joseph to call again, I think.
He's trying to fold out tens for sure. I don't know if Joseph's going to fold a jack at this point. What do you think?
It's a tough spot with a jack. I mean, Austin is repping better than a jack.
He is, and it's early on. Ooh, Joseph's not giving up yet.
Let's see if he really calls or if it's just... He does call.
Wow.
He does not believe Austin.
Wow, maybe Austin has a reputation I'm unaware of.
Well, it wouldn't be shocking since he decided to 3-bet this hand this early in the tournament.
All right, that's a nothing card.
It's a bad spot for Austin now. That card doesn't change anything. I would assume Joseph is not folding. If I was Austin,
Right.
Seeing the cards, I would assume Joseph is folding.
If I were Austin, I would think Joseph is slow played a set or has a jack.
Yeah, or even queens. I would be giving up here if
Yeah.
I was Austin. Or either giving up or massively overbetting the pot, betting like at least 6,000.
Man, it's a high variance spot early, and he's
Yeah.
going for it. This is going to work, right?
I have to believe if he does bet it. Let's see how much he bets.
Unless Joseph sees into his soul.
Oh, he
which-
bets super small, but
Oh.
it does looks like value to me.
That's really interesting.
I mean, most of Joseph's range, I think, would feel obligated to call here, but this is the one part of it that may really have to find a fold. Oh, he
Oh,
calls
he makes the
anyway.
call.
Wow. Austin's reputation must precede him. It must.
Yeah, it must. Wow. Joseph made good calls there, obviously.
Yeah.
He knows something.
Wow. Austin blows up almost 40% of his stack on hand number 4 for no reason, really. Wow.
Yeah, I like the idea of the 1.7K on the river there. It kind of
Yeah.
looks really value-y, but at the same time, when you do that, you're giving your opponent such a good price.
I mean, that's true, but this is the part of the range that you would think you'd have no problem folding out.
Yeah.
Like the rest, like the other parts of it, I mean, actually, I would have overbet it for sure, but I would have thought I was being called down by ace jack there and be like, no, ace jack, you have to fold.
Yeah.
You know, or queens. Queens isn't good here, buddy, you know. But yeah, well, that bet is not going to fold out those hands at all.
That was quite a fascinating hand.
It's like Austin actually was targeting ace queen or ace king there.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. It's almost like both players knew where the other guy was at pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was really interesting, yeah. Looks like Dankus joined us.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Joseph got to be feeling good after that call. He's coming off winning the last sit and go for 5,000, and now here he is, makes that showy call.
He also got that $100 nitrogen sports bet. Don't forget about that, Jonathan.
I can't forget about that. And of course, Grant, the winner of this sit and go also gets that. Of course, these players know that.
Third place 1K, second place 2K, first place 5K, and that bet.
$300 sports bet. Who doesn't want that?
All right, maybe we'll get to see Dank play for the first time.
There's a chance.
Although we might not know what he has because it's his first time at the RFID table, and sometimes people don't quite get that card
yeah.
reader right.
Well, it looks like right now his chips are actually covering the card reader, so that's problematic.
He's gonna fold.
Yeah,
So
that's
we don't know
I'm
anything
sure the
about
crew
him
will
yet.
get that taken care of and let him know where to put the cards. But it didn't matter anyway. He didn't have anything.
I have played with Dank quite
Yeah.
a few times. In fact, he's an interesting player. He makes creative moves.
Oh, really?
So
Oh, great.
I'm excited to see what he does.
Excellent. Yeah, I've never seen Dank or Austin before,
I've never seen Austin before.
so it'll be interesting to see how these guys play.
Shaggy I've played with. They're Shaggy in the middle.
Yeah.
He's a guy who I always find myself at his table in tournaments, and he always has so many chips, and I just don't know how he got them. But he keeps doing it.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good trait.
Yeah. The guy with all the chips, it's a good guy to beat.
Yeah. So Thorpe is under the gun and does not play the ace-9 off. Nice job, Thorpe.
Well, yeah, that was the right play. And
course it
obviously
was.
he knew Joseph had kings, otherwise he would have played it.
Yeah, well, if you have a read, you
Let's
gotta
see if
go with
Austin
it.
tries something again here on Joseph. This would be a bad time.
He was thinking about it, but
I imagine he would have played the 9-6 suited if he hadn't just lost that big pot.
I think
Oh,
he probably
Snuggy's
would've.
stepping into the fire with 2 sevens and 3 betting here.
Well, I think it's going to be over quickly because I don't think Joseph's not going to 4-bet.
Well said.
So what do you think sizing here? We don't have to make it very big as Joseph. We could go like 2.7.
I think we can go 3. He just calls.
Interesting.
I kind of like it.
Me too.
I mean, I like
Snuggy's pretty aggressive.
protecting our range, and Snuggy is quite aggressive. Oh,
Well,
that is unfair.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Look at Thorpe reacting to that board. Check. Interesting. Okay,
Both guys are trapping.
Joseph's gonna start betting.
There's
think
Thorpe again.
he's like, that's a 6 of hearts over there. I see. That's all
go.
over Joseph's range.
So Joseph's going to bet. How much does he bet?
1,300. It looks like. I wonder if Snuggie will. Hey, look, it's Thorpe.
Yeah, we're having some camera operation issues, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Promise. There is
nobody.
Thorpe again.
Is in the hand. Snuggie's in the hand. Oh, looks like
Snuggie raises.
He
and
went
Thorpe,
all
and,
in.
And Joseph moves in, which is, I think that actually is a mistake. Now he's done game theory disaster where maybe queens will call, but I don't know what else is supposed to call.
Wow.
So we didn't see Snuggie raise, but Snuggie did put in the raise. Not surprising.
And then Joseph moved in?
Joseph shoved, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's going to hurt Joseph's stack.
Joseph may be feeling like once Snuggie raises that they're going to get it in anyway, so it doesn't matter, and he wants to make sure he gets value out of the queens and jacks. I'm just not sure if Snuggie's calling with jacks.
Well,
if Joseph moves in.
I think there might be
Probably
something else. There might be something else going on here.
Yeah.
Snuggie did not see bet the flop, and the heart came on the turn. So Joseph might think Snuggie has a lot of hearts in his range when he raises there. He wants to be sure to charge the hearts.
Joseph does have the king of hearts in his hand. It knocks out most of the hearts that Snuggie could have, but not all of them. Like, really, it's just ace queen of hearts and maybe ace jack of hearts.
I mean, it's Snuggie, though. He could have other hearts.
Yeah, maybe you're right. That's fair. Anyway, that really worked out for Snuggie. Gets the huge double up. Good thing Joseph won that first hand.
I imagine
He's
he
still
would
short.
have. He would have probably doubled up even if he had flatted pre-flop.
If he had flat. Oh, yeah. I think he's getting it all no matter what. I guess if Joseph had 4-bet to a extremely large size, he could have won this pot
Yeah.
pre. But I like how Joseph played. He was playing for value. He was trying to win the tournament. This is a way to do it.
He knows how to win these things.
Yeah.
We've seen him do it.
We sure have.
He just waited in the wings last time, though. He didn't really play too many hands,
Yeah,
really.
he just hung out in the tall grass and suddenly won the thing. It's
and
pretty
when,
interesting.
and when he got to the grass that was a bit shorter, he crouched a little bit.
Yeah, so it's still hard to see him. He blended. There's Snuggie.
All right, Cantu's definitely opening this in the cutoff, right?
Yep.
Looks like he made it 200. We see him min raise. That's
Yeah.
what he's been doing in the sit and goes.
Thorpe gonna defend with that 9 deuce off.
That's
so
part of the range that you could consider folding
Oh,
to
yeah.
a min raise
I think so.
when there's no antes in there. And that's a reasonably good flop for Cantu, although he doesn't love it.
It's great for his range. He checks it right back.
Now we
which
get to
makes
see
sense.
Joseph, which is nice.
There's 8 of clubs on the turn.
Goes check there, I guess.
I guess Thorpe is just going to.
Well, I don't see any more money going in here.
I mean, Thorpe could have decided to bluff. Looks
I
like
guess-
Cantu's going to try to make a little value bet here, but he's not going to get called by 9 high. There's Thorpe thinking about it. Shows a 9 and folds. This is how tight I am.
Super tight.
I fold a 9.
I mean, he did have a straight draw on the turn.
That was a surprising
No, he
defend. No, he didn't. Surprising defend there by Thorpe, I got to say. Even though it was a min raise, it was 9 deuce off.
I think our camera operator is drunk.
Yeah, there's some issues.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that, but that's okay. You know what? We're gonna manage. We're gonna muddle through.
The poker guys, we always do.
We're like Kerry Strug in the Olympics.
I remember those moments. Not really.
Strug.
I was 10 years old, so I don't really remember it.
Bella Caroli is gonna carry us off. You know, in his arms.
Triumphantly.
Strug. I think it's Kerry Strug.
That seems right. Action Aaron is not given any action yet, but he hasn't had anything to do it with.
He did open the Queen 9 off in the.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
hijack.
Here's Snuggie with a playable hand, raising it up.
Snuggie feeling good with all those chips now.
4.5xing it.
A little different than.
Dank can't see those boxes on the felt, I guess.
Oh yeah.
They're supposed to put your cards in there, Dank.
Looks like no. Is that a 3-bet? I think it is.
I think it is. I think it's 1,100 or 1,300.
Yeah.
1,300.
Joseph
has
has kings.
Well, he's moving in.
Of course he is.
I guess we will get to see what Dank has most likely.
Dank's going to be calling a lot here, just based on the price. Joseph has had big hands. He's had kings twice, ace king once, and all 3 of them he's playing big pots with them.
And
all
that's
3.
That's why people say they don't want him early in the tournament, because look at Joseph Stack having had those hands.
Well,
you
the
know?
ace king worked out, and looks like Dank does call.
Yeah.
He's going to show. Is that 2 queens?
Queen, yeah. That's
So
unlucky.
That's fair.
That's pretty unlucky.
Here we go.
He's got live hearts.
Is about it. Joseph does have the diamond covered there, and just got to dodge 2 queens. He does, and there's the double for Joseph.
Joseph's back to a playable stack, and Dank gets hurt a little bit there.
Yep, Joseph actually now has more chips than Dank does, just like
Yeah.
that. But what are you going to do?
It's a cooler.
Yeah, Joseph had the size stack that Dink could really never consider folding.
No.
Joseph can absolutely have worse hands. Also, if you fold queens in that spot, you are, as we like to say, exploitable.
Yeah, and you say it like that.
Yeah, that's how we say it.
Every time in the World Series of Poker, if you're playing at Jonathan's table, every time you fold to him, he's going to say that. He's going to be like, exploitable.
I'm going to point at you and say that, so get ready.
Yeah.
That's going to happen a lot.
And if you're next to him, he'll hit you afterwards.
Lightly.
Yeah.
In the face. But yeah.
But it's an experience, you know?
Exactly. It's like going to Epcot Center.
Or like running with the bulls.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you die. Sometimes it was exhilarating
Yeah.
and you get to tell your friends about it. It's going to be a little bit of both.
You're going to hit him that hard?
You know, if you hit him right, you don't have to hit him that hard.
Oh, like Liam Neeson.
Exactly. I, too, have a particular set of skills.
Anyway, we got
Here's
Austin
Austin.
under the gun here. 75 big still, despite that big loss.
That's the thing. Like, so Joseph getting that double and Dank being down, they all have under 10K, these three players, but they're fine. And as long as they're aware of the fact that it's not a problem, you know, that it's like nothing to worry about, got a lot of chips here. You just have to, you know, keep that in mind that it isn't like they've taken a huge loss yet. It feels like it, but it's not so bad.
All right.
Joseph again has a big hand.
We're going to see our first Shaggy action, by the way. He's opening the cutoff with 10-9 off.
We're going to see
Thorpe
him fold
calling.
in a second, I think.
Yeah, I think Joseph made it 15-50. Yeah, 15-50. Shaggy's going to fold. Thorpe is probably going to fold.
I would think so. I know you're in position and all that. I know, I know Thorpe likes to call, but I don't expect him to call this one.
Wrong.
But I'm wrong all the time.
We've seen Thorpe before. Thorpe does not put chips
Yeah.
in pre-flop and then fold very often.
That is true. That is true. If Thorpe puts money in, it doesn't matter how big you 3-bet it. This is in the cash games, though. This is a different spot where you cannot rebuy. But Thorpe says, I got position, I have a playable hand, and I just flop top pair.
Oh, no, you flop middle pair.
It was
'cause
top pair at the time.
Joseph flopped top pair.
See?
And Joseph bets 1,600, it looks like. I don't know if Thorpe can fold yet.
No, he shouldn't. He's got to call once.
Yeah.
He just has to.
Joseph probably thinks Thorpe's got a weaker ace most of the time.
I mean, you're happy you got called. Wow.
That's just Joseph is not running good right now, and he just moves in, which is
Well,
reasonable.
you're going to have to call, and Thorpe
Yeah.
does.
He's going to get called by ace queen and ace 10 there a lot of the time, so I kind of like the move in. Just turns out that Thorpe outturned him and holds up, and that's going to eliminate Joseph, our first elimination.
Wow. What a roller coaster for Joseph as he is watching his chips get past to Thorpe. So many big hands. He said he had 5 big hands in, you know, the first like 25 hands or so. Not even 20 hands, but now he's out.
Yeah, I think there were a lot fewer than 20 hands.
How many orbits have we done? 2?
Maybe 1.5.
This is crazy. You're right. This video's been running for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
So it can't be 20 hands. It's probably like 12 or 13 hands. He picked up kings twice and ace king 3 times.
Well, look at it this way. He won the last sit and go. That's good.
Yeah.
Now he gets to not spend his whole night and get 4th place and get no money. He gets to go do whatever he wants now.
Yeah, we're looking at Brandon Cantu's under the gun +1. That's what happened to him in the last sit and go. He bubbled it.
Oh, yeah. That was probably no fun. That was a much shorter game. Snuggy's going to get back in the action here.
It's about time. So Snuggy is doing something that we saw Terminator do in the first sit and go, which is basically he's got chips and just try and boss the table. A lot of players would think it's probably too early to start, but apparently for Snuggy it's never too early. And, you know, this can work. If people are going to play tight, this can just work. A lot of people play tight at the beginning of sit and goes and tournaments and things. So here we go. We see Austin did outflop Snuggy. Got to assume he's going to call at least once here. Although Austin is kind of short.
He is short, and Snuggy just bet pot, or did he? Oh, he bet 700. which is about
That's
pot.
almost pot. That makes it tough. It's not crazy just to fold here.
Well, Austin's not interested in that.
Yeah. Austin probably thinks.
Maybe he's watched some Snuggie Poker Time stuff.
Yeah. Hate to be so exploitable that you just fold a pair. But if Snuggie goes again, I don't know what
This
you're
is
supposed
just
to
a
do but
bad
fold.
card for King 3. Just
Yeah.
a really bad card.
See if Snuggie. But Snuggie does not continue. Snuggie can absolutely still have the best hand a lot here. And now
And
does have the best
He does
hand.
have the best hand. I don't imagine he can go for value, though.
I mean, if Austin doesn't bet, Austin doesn't really have any jacks.
Snuggie's going for value.
Yeah, it's not completely insane.
I mean,
Trying to get called by a 5 or a 3.
I guess so. That would be crazy if it worked.
He bet small at least. I think he would-
Small-ish.
Oh, you know what? He bet half pot. I would have gone probably even smaller. I probably would have tried. If you're trying to get called by a 5 or a 3, you got to bet real small.
I'd be concerned that Austin has way more jacks than 5s and 3s in his range.
I would assume Austin's going to sometimes bet a jack on the river after he goes check
Yeah,
on the turn.
I guess that's true.
So, you know, yes, he can have 8s, 9s, and 10s, I guess.
Well,
but
it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Snuggie was going for,
We're
you know
going
what?
for a ride.
It's that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're still in the excitement.
So was that is there like a
There's
earthquake?
a Cloverfield monster.
It's eating people. Did you see? That movie's amazing.
That is, for those who haven't seen, you should check it out.
Really, you should watch that
Not a
movie.
sponsor. Just
No.
we just like it.
J.J. Abrams does not currently sponsor us. Bad Robot Productions.
That would be cool though.
Yeah, you know what, J.J.?
Get on board.
Let's have a meeting.
Well, now we got a new angle thanks to the
It's,
monster.
it's a better angle, in fairness, to the monster. Brandon Cantu, 2-time World Series of Poker champion, 2-time World Poker Tour champion, one of those.
One-time World Poker Tour champion, 2-time bracelet winner.
There we go.
Impressive resume,
Yeah,
to say the
absolutely.
least. Over $4 million in live earnings.
Also, very impressive, obviously.
Thorpe-
Thorpe's going to raise it up with the ace-3 off because, you know what?
He's in the cutoff.
Because that's why.
He's in the cutoff.
Because? You ask why, I say because. That's my answer.
Because Snuggie's going to call with Jack Deuce.
It's a little Sir Edmund Hillary type thing there, you know? Why did I raise the ace-3? Because it was there.
Right. You're, of course, referring to him diving deep into a cave.
Do you know who Sir Edmund?
Yeah, he'd
Okay,
climb
just making-
Mount,
just
climb
making
Mount
sure.
Everest.
I'm just making sure. I
I
didn't
did
know if
the
you were joking
opposite.
or not.
I did the opposite thing.
I know, but I just wasn't 100% sure.
You're a fool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thorpe checks
turns,
it back and
turns an
hits it.
ace. Is he going to bet or try to let Snuggie bet it on the river? We don't know because the Cloverfield monster is also controlling the camera.
There's a lot of issues right now. Thorpe shows his ace and wins the pot.
No,
Oh,
shows
no,
a
he doesn't.
three.
He shows a 3, but, you know, Snuggie can rest assured he was losing.
Whenever they show one card, it's probably okay. You know, you're probably like, the other one was probably the one I wanted to see.
Yeah. When they show a really bad card after
Yeah.
they bet, yeah, it's usually the other one's usually pretty good. Because they could show them both if they were bluffing.
They could.
Come on, who you fooling, Thorpe? Maybe Snuggie?
Not the Poker Time viewers. They are too sophisticated.
Yep. They
They
love
would've-
those guys.
Yeah. All of you guys.
They drink Ovaltine, not just hot chocolate. Ovaltine. Also
that-
not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor? Okay.
Maybe one day. Poker Time brought to you by Cloverfield and Ovaltine.
Oh, I think Dank's trying to put it on the RF
Yeah.
figurator, but it's the wrong
All
one.
right, you know what? It's a step in the right
Yeah.
direction.
We appreciate
I
it.
believe, Dank, we will get there. Sooner or
Shaggy?
later, our producer will talk to Dank.
Shaggy's going to open the force. Aaron did not fold. It said I think he had King 10 of clubs.
There you
King
go.
10 off. He's going to call. Austin will fold.
Snuggie's got a reasonable hand and a big chip stack. He's going to call.
Cantu definitely calling this.
Oh, yeah.
And Snuggie's got so many chips compared to everybody else right now because he got to get that huge pot against Joseph. Flops a 7 yet again.
Has the best hand for now and decides to donk it.
I don't know if this is going to be a valuable donk in the long term.
I guess he sees it as protecting his equity. Again, he's concerned he's going to check through so often. Everyone folds, and he gets to just win the pot.
The pocket fours folding is kind of an indictment of that bet because you're going to want to get called by hands like that when you bet.
I mean, you're never going to get called by hands like that when you bet.
Right, which is a bit of a problem.
That is a bit of a problem. But again, I see it more as Snuggie because he's out of position protecting his equity as
Yeah,
opposed to
that's-
anything else.
That must be the majority of his goal there.
I mean, yeah, like I'll just take the pot right now because it's likely to get worse for me, not harder to win, not
Sure,
easier
sure.
if I check. And that's that. And you can know as Snuggie, if someone doesn't fold, they often have you beat. Not that that's a good thing, but it is a little bit of a game theory disaster.
Oh, it looks
but
like
there are
Dank
other
might have
things.
the right reader. I'm excited to see what he plays.
Yeah.
All right, Shaggy 6-7 suited under the gun.
He's going to limp it.
Gonna limp it, yeah.
Action Aaron thinking about the ace.
He wants to give the action. It's in his name.
And he's going to limp the ace deuce off. Snuggie.
Snuggy's not gonna play
Can't
this.
play this one.
He's not big nasty.
Cantu gets, that's right. Cantu gets the
All right, Dank's got 7-6
cheap
also.
complete there.
Well, these are not great hands.
Action Aaron and Cantu have pretty much all the equity. Not anymore.
6-7, both 6-7s flop 2 pair. That is a rare.
Dank is relatively short with 74 blinds, but they don't have to get it in here.
I am gonna guess they will though. Looks like a raise
It's going
from
to be an
Shaggy.
immediate raise. And the thing is, it's hard for Shaggy to have a hand that Dank is in trouble to when Shaggy limps under the gun, unless he has 2 jacks.
Right, and it's also a very small raise, by the way. I would put him on a combo draw if I
Yeah.
were Dank, based on my holding.
Looks like Dank is going to just call, though.
Perhaps Shaggy could raise a jack sometimes, or jack X of clubs.
Yeah, Jack 10 of clubs, something like that is pretty reasonable.
Slightly scary card for both players, but not too scary. Dank's going to lead
This is
into the razor.
Interesting. Maybe he must be putting Shaggy on a draw.
Maybe the nut flush draw that he's trying to get value from and charge.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Shaggy really might check that back if he has the ace X of clubs.
Jacks, aces, and clubs will kill action on the river here.
There's a jack.
That's the action killer of action killers.
Well-
Probably the worst one.
We'll see if someone decides to turn their hand into a bluff. But the thing is, the other guy can have the draws because none of the draws came in, so you expect it to go check a lot.
Shaggy's bemoaning his luck, but guess what? You both had the equally bad luck.
You know what?
And Dank shoots him a look.
You play that.
Yep.
That's what people say.
Yep.
I don't know if Dank said that, but
It's one of those poker tropes that is never annoying.
there's a lot of them, in fact,
Yeah.
that are never annoying.
Never ever.
Just one of them.
3 pair. I always love it when people say that.
Fair fight. I know
Yep.
you like that one. Big fan of that one when
It's
it's
a
like
good one.
pair versus overcards.
2 flush draws. That was pretty good.
It's not bad.
Always brings joy to my heart.
Poker.
Looks like the blinds are up now. 75, 150 are now the blinds. It's a bit unfortunate for both Dank and Shaggy there, but Dank especially, having lost that big pot to Joseph early on, thought he had an opportunity there to kind of get back in the driver's seat and just ends up chopping the pot.
That said, I mean, when the jack pairs, he's thrilled not to lose.
Yeah, he's
the
very
pot.
happy not to lose on the jack pairing for sure.
Thorpe's going to play this one.
Ace-9 suited. He did fold ace-9 off under the gun, but
Yep.
suited is way better.
It is.
Did he limp or raise? I don't know. Yes, he did. He
Did
raised to
raise it up.
500. Austin has not been given many hands to play with.
It's true. And we're going to fold it all the way to Shaggy, it looks like, who is going to defend the jack 3 suited.
It is suited.
You don't have to defend this. It's a little early, I think, to defend.
Thorpe also
personally.
raised decent size there. Pretty
Yeah.
big raise, over 3x.
Yeah, it's true. You have to. You can defend a lot less when he does that.
And Thorpe flops middle pair and a backdoor flush draw.
I'd definitely be. I think I'd be opting usually to not defend that hand against
Right.
the under the gun range, but it's fine.
Thorpe's going to start betting now, and that'll just end things, it looks like.
Yeah.
Unless Shaggy wants to get a little shaggy.
Shagalicious.
Yeah.
I hope he makes some shagalicious plays.
What-
Shagadelic.
What would you consider a shagadelic play to be? What would that look like?
I'm going to say you check raise without looking at your cards
Okay.
on the flop. You've never looked, and everyone knows you haven't looked. That's pretty shagarific.
So super suboptimal is what
Shagadelic.
the worst possible plays you could make is what you're.
You got. I haven't looked, everyone. I raised. I actually one time did have a guy move in on me on the river without having ever looked at his cards and having called my bets all the way down, and then he just moved in on the river.
Did you have anything?
I had a pair and I had to fold because the way the board ran out. I remember this.
Wow, you're the worst.
It was a long time
you
ago.
got owned.
It was a long time ago.
You just got owned, didn't you, Levy?
Yeah, I have a feeling now it would not be the case. I have a feeling I don't know that the board could ever be so bad, but I think it was like 4 to a straight and 4 to a flush were on the board, and I had none of it. And he moved in, and I was like, I think I might be losing. Even to a random hand, I think I might be losing here.
Way to go. All right, Dank's going to open up the button. And Thorpe, he did not voluntarily put chips
Wow.
in the pot, but he did put them in the pot pre-flop, and he's not folding.
I mean, he just voluntarily put chips in the
He
pot.
did
right now.
after the
I see what you're saying.
after the blind.
Yeah.
It's a good board to c-bet for Dank, but it's not
Yeah.
going to work out because Thorpe flopped a deuce.
Thorpe's going to call at least once. But I like that Dank is c-betting this
Yeah.
very dry board that usually hits no one. And when it hits someone, it's much more Dank than Thorpe. Thorpe picks up a gutter as well. Let's see if Dank continues. Usually people give up a lot in these spots, but let's see if Dank
Yeah,
does.
he does check. Just hoping for a 7 or a king now.
A 5 or an ace would be reasonable too. If Thorpe checks again, Dank could decide to rep the jack.
He
But he
just
doesn't.
gives up. Thorpe's going to get to win with the deuce.
Dank decides his stack is kind of small and doesn't want to just lose, another chunk.
And he respectfully pushes his cards to the muck, thinking, this guy's an idiot.
You do not know that that's what he's thinking.
No, probably not. But you've been there.
Oh, well,
when the
it
guy
was-
shows up with a 6 deuce.
Yeah, and you're like, come on, man.
why'd you have to have 6 deuce there, Thorpe?
How much did Dank raise to pre?
It was
450.
It was 400. It's
400.
not. It's not completely unreasonable to defend the 6 deuce, but when he shows up with it, you feel a little mad when you're in Dank's seat there.
I'm feeling you're sort of like a Wall Street banker on the best day of his life. Walking around handing out dollars to people just in the street right now.
That's me.
Yeah, pretty generous.
Oh, well, if it was suited, it would be a completely reasonable defend.
It would be reasonable-ish. I don't know about completely reasonable. We don't have antes, man. There's not that much to win. There's not that much to defend against.
You make good points. I love my Thorpe, and I don't want
know.
you to hurt him.
I love the Thorpe too. And he got to win that pot. Good on him. Look how friendly that guy looks.
Snuggie opening the king jack. Big sizing from Snuggie.
Yeah.
Over 4x.
Snuggy's like, I'm just going to boss the table around now. That's how it is. You see this shirt? This is how it's going to be, guys.
This is the boss shirt. Bruce Springsteen would wear this shirt. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
These are actual cow skulls, by the way. These are not just, depictions of cow skulls on his shirt, to be clear.
Why do they have no 3-dimensionality to
They've been
them?
smashed down.
Oh.
But those are actual. Those are like all of the cow skull.
Oh, so it's like really heavy.
That's what happens when you watch Poker Time. You're gonna get that level of humor, people.
Yeah,
Just know
congratulations.
that.
Congratulations to you, all of the viewers.
Notice how Snuggie rarely lifts his arms very high up, as opposed to look at the guys on his right and his left.
Yeah,
Those hands
their
are up on
arms
their
are
chins.
free of cow skulls. Dank appears to be showing a little frustration here.
Yeah, this feels like it's gonna be a little tilty if he decides to put chips in the A7 in this spot. There's no reason to do this really.
He just limps with the ace 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's a little bit tilty.
Thorpe's going to overlimp the jack 9 on the button, which is not insane.
Action Aaron with a reasonable call, and Austin.
Probably going to check.
Yep. Well, everyone got what they wanted, I guess. A cheap flop. I guess.
I suppose.
Maybe they have bigger dreams than that, though.
Well,
Thorpe flopped huge.
Thorpe and his jack 9s. He's doing well with the jack 9s.
Yeah, and Dank and Action Aaron both have top pair.
Yeah, Thorpe's going to get at least a little bit, and he checks it back.
Wow.
Ooh, that's an action-killing card right there.
Yeah.
Thorpe has the only spade.
Well, that's good for Thorpe, but it's going to be much harder to get paid now that the King of Spades comes.
Yeah, as we see, the situation dictates that it's actually kind of bad for Thorpe, but Aaron's going to start betting now.
It's probably hard to get more than one bet out of Aaron. Maybe if a break comes off on the river, actually, it's reasonable. Oh, you got to like this, though.
Dank's going to call. He knows Action Aaron's reputation.
Yeah, and of course, Thorpe, I assume, is going to just call here.
Yep, the Cloverfield monster doesn't want to see what happens. Ace on the river will save these guys.
Oh,
well,
my
that's going to
goodness.
save everybody. Nobody's putting another chip in.
I mean,
except
Thorpe
for
has
Thorpe.
the second nuts.
Yeah, Thorpe's going to put a chip in. I'm saying his opponents will not.
I don't know. Someone could decide to bluff it, I guess, but it's unlikely. Yeah, Thorpe's going to bet, and like you said, there's no way anyone's going to call here.
If he loses, he's losing to a royal, and then he has a story for his kids or his grandkids.
You can really see though, how Thorpe checking the flop really cost him some chips in this one.
It did a little bit.
Well, maybe not actually. Maybe if he bets the flop and both guys call, they're probably going to fold on the turn anyway if he bets again. Actually,
yeah.
So actually, maybe it didn't cost him anything. And it gives them a chance to honestly, if a brick comes on the river, someone's going to probably pay him off if he bets, right?
Yeah, if the deuce of diamonds comes off,
Yeah,
he's probably going to get one small bet in. Probably not a big one.
He bets 650, 700, and probably someone's going to feel obligated to call. Probably more Dank than Aaron.
Yeah.
But Dank could be. I mean, he could have just missed his draw, right? You've got a pretty good hand. All the things.
All the things. You're right.
Yeah. All the small things.
Truth something truth brings.
Yeah, I don't know the rest of
Na
it.
na
I
na
just know
na
that.
na 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 na.
I never understood why that song was a hit.
Because it's kind of fun.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm not sure that that's true.
Whatever. Go
question.
listen to your crap. Not that
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
defending Blink-182 that much.
You just did. You
I- yeah.
just strongly
I
defended
feel
them.
very confrontational when doing Poker Time commentary.
It's really not about the music at
No,
all.
it's not. Shaggy with a nice looking hand. Gonna open
Yeah.
to 400.
Action Aaron just thinks it's too pretty on the button.
Well, he's right.
It is very pretty, and it's on the button. And they are deep, actually, too. They got 105 blinds effective here.
Austin's, I think, gonna call, but I just don't know.
Looks like a call.
Yep.
Snuggie does not have to play this one.
And it's getting a really good price.
Yep.
But he does let it go.
I think that's the one to let go.
7 deuce off. Yeah,
Yeah.
usually the one to let go.
I feel comfortable saying that's probably a fold.
Just bring the deuce 7 flop. Show Levy what's up.
Yeah.
Let's go, poker
But
gods.
all in spades. And then it comes,
All
3
in
of spades, 4 of spades. And
Oh,
then-
so sick. Well, look at that flop for Action
yeah,
Aaron.
Action Aaron flops the world.
Nobody else flops that much. Shaggy with bottom pair.
Shaggy looks like he is going to bet. Now, not crazy to do so. Aaron now just has to decide between raising and calling.
Yeah.
Both are
It's-
reasonable.
He just calls, which means he has an opportunity to lose the pot now.
Yep.
With a flop this good at this stage of the sit and go, I think I would be just trying to get it in. It's we're far from the
Gamble it up.
money. Let's build a stack here.
Yeah, that's not crazy. It's not crazy. And if you take it down right now, that's fine. I mean, you do set up some. It's not exactly game theory disaster, but you might have some issues there. You know what I mean? With like what you're getting called by.
And there's a scary card, and now Shaggy is turning his hand into a bluff here.
Well, that is interesting. No, maybe he may not be turning into a bluff. He may just feel like he's charging Aaron for the draws.
That's possible, but I think mostly he's trying to fold out a 7 or a 9 here.
I don't want to speak to what's going on in that guy's head. Wow,
And
what a river
He
for
totally
Shaggy.
gets there, and as played, Aaron would have been better off raising the flop, but
Yes.
we can't fault him for how he played it necessarily.
I'm okay with him calling
Yeah.
in both spots. Now it's going to be actually a pretty easy fold.
Yep.
The way this board rolled out.
He's probably going to show it because of how unlucky he got, is my guess.
It is pretty unlikely. The ace of diamonds would have been. I'm sure Shaggy would have bet that too. Well, I'm not sure he would have actually.
Yeah,
but
he might have check called it.
Yeah, but a bet would have gone in. Anyway.
And Aaron didn't show it.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. That's a nice run out for Shaggy, and he's also fortunate that Aaron never decided to put in an aggressive action post flop.
Yeah, that's true. Shaggy betting the turn really won him the pot because if he checks, Aaron's probably going to bet. And
Yeah.
that's going to be the end of it. I gotta believe.
Yeah.
I'd be really surprised if Shaggy decides to bluff catch on that.
So
board.
that's how he does it. Accumulates all those chips when I sit down at the table
Yeah.
with him. He just keeps betting.
Fire, fire, fire. Sometimes that works. There's something to be said for that.
Absolutely.
Get people to fold, build bigger pots, get there a little bit.
I like getting there. That's my favorite part.
Getting there is nice. Underrated part of poker, having it.
All right, Deng's got 10-8 suited under the gun. He does only have 40 blinds, though, and he
Yeah.
decides to fold it.
I like
It's
it.
a good disciplined fold.
Yep.
Thorpe's going to fold 9-6 suited with a pretty big stack. That's a slight surprise.
It's not his move usually. Austin with deuces on the button.
There's no antes to win, so it's like a weirdish spot. Of course, opening is totally normal, but you're not ever excited to have deuces with no antes
Yeah.
opening the button, really.
I think you're just going to have to c-bet a lot of boards here.
Can't
Turn
do
your
it with
hand
the
into a bluff
suited
a
queen
lot
6.
if you're going to do this. I think you're just forced to c-bet a huge amount of boards.
Yeah, I agree. It just kind of sucks
Yeah. It would have been reasonable just to fold this also.
because of a stack size, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because of his stack size.
Like, this is a terrifying board. But I guess we have more kings in our range than Cantu,
For
so we're
sure.
supposed to bet.
For sure, this is better for us than for him. We have a pair. We have to deny equity as well. I think he really needs to be betting that.
Well,
Like, are we
that's-
going to bluff catch here if Cantu turns his hand to decides to bet?
Well, we might
guess-
just be able to check it down
well,
and win if Cantu lets us.
That would be great. We would love that. The thing is, this pot's important for us. Well, we do have the best hand.
But it's a
we-
terrifying board at this point. Everything feels like it is just
Luckily-
got us beat.
Luckily for Austin, he doesn't have to put any chips in. He still gets to win. I guess Cantu thought Austin was just going to station him because he was checking it back, which
Yeah.
is possible.
It is possible. And we've seen Austin put chips in the pot with ace deuce, although we haven't seen him do much since then. But he, was willing to put chips in.
I mean, it's different, though,
Yeah.
calling versus betting.
It's definitely different.
I don't know if Austin was. I mean, I wouldn't really feel comfortable calling with deuces there if Cantu decides to bet the river.
Well,
I may call, but I wouldn't like it.
Cantu may
at all.
feel less apt to bet against the guy that he saw 3-bet, bet, and get called down by ace high and lose. That's what I'm saying.
Because he might be like on tilt a little bit, or for what reason?
Because he knows the guy has some like looseness to him,
Mhm.
some not
okay.
giving up to him.
Got
He
it.
saw the Joseph had
So,
ace king.
so
in
he
that
might
hand.
decide to hold on. Also, when you're a bluffer, you kind of assume everyone else is bluffing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at everything through that lens.
Like liars, right?
Yeah, actually, it really is. It's the same thing. I mean, that's what bluffing is, right?
Yeah.
You're lying. And it's okay. It's not like there's no judgment, of course.
Right.
Like bluffing is good.
You should be bluffing sometimes. It's part of the game.
Yeah, you should be lying to your family sometimes.
Yeah,
It's part of life.
Part of you're not playing balanced family life if you're not lying every once in a while, at least a quarter of the time. All right, Austin has found a hand to 3-bet, and I think it's a reasonable thing. The question is, does he go with it if Aaron shoves? Which
I
he
don't think so.
will not do.
I think
but
it's a pretty easy fold
Yeah.
if Aaron shoves.
I agree.
You're going to get 40 blinds in. That's the plan. It seems terrible.
Aaron does call, and Austin has a nice hand here, but Aaron does have 44% of the equity.
Yep. Not anymore.
Well,
35%.
It's
So not
close.
anymore.
It's close still.
Yeah, that first card, the equity really changed pretty dramatically there.
Is Aaron moving in? He just moved
Yes.
in.
Whoa.
Austin can't fold
You
here.
have to call. What is Aaron ever moving in with here?
He never has a set, right?
Never. Does he ever have a big ace even and play it like this? Almost never.
He could have ace jack specifically sometimes.
It'd be I mean, he could maybe have ace deuce suited sometimes too, but most of the time you've got him, and you absolutely have to play this hand. to
Yeah,
call.
that's
right.
the call. You got to call. It's,
play.
It doesn't feel great to call, but
No.
you have to.
And look, you got 65% equity here
It's a good spot.
as Austin, and if the 10 of hearts rolls off, you even have a redraw.
What a deal.
That's a pretty safe card.
Well, it's not a heart. That's right.
Yep, not a heart and didn't bring a straight draw. And is that it for action, Aaron? No, he's got 1.5K left. 10 blinds.
Austin gets to go back over starting stack now.
Action Aaron shoved. That was a big shove.
It was
man.
huge. It
He
was
shoved like
huge.
2.7 times the pot.
He could have check shoved.
That would have been a better play. And now he was going to get called that way too, I think.
Yes, he was, but I think you get more that way.
Yeah.
If Austin has king queen there.
You got to let
Yeah.
Austin like fire once,
Yeah.
you know, with his misses. Or by the way, if Austin has queen there, he may fold.
Yeah.
It's not a good
He might
spot.
not bet, though.
He might not, but some people do. Some
Yeah.
people do. Some people don't. You give yourself a chance.
Right.
You know you're getting it in anyway, and you generate probably the same amount of fold equity.
Yeah, about the same. As we see, Austin did call with ace 10, which is probably one of the worst aces he's going to show up with there with his stack
Well,
size.
With the stack size, maybe. I don't know. He showed ace deuce early, so
Right. I think the stack size is important.
I don't know if it's important to him or not. I know it's important to you. I don't know how he feels
All right.
about that stuff. That's all. You could be right.
I'm speculating.
All I know is he decided to 3-bet ace deuce on like hand number 3 when, against a tighter player who opened in relatively early position.
All we
middle
can do is
position.
speculate, Levy.
Right. I'm just saying the data leads me to think like he may show up with other things too.
The data does not say that to me.
The data is the data, man. You know?
Well, Shaggy's probably going to raise it up here with 2/8.
This is probably going to be over in a hurry.
Yeah. Looks like 700 more or 300 more. I can't tell.
I'm going to say it's 300 more. Yeah.
Yep.
It is
Oh.
callable.
Yeah, definitely callable with 4/5 here.
Dank pretty short, though. He's got 30 some odd blinds. He could have just thrown it away.
He could have, but
It would have
I don't
been
know,
reasonable.
It's not that much more.
It is
5/4
not.
can play it decently post flop.
Yeah. There's a
Flops a
5.
5.
This may get him in some trouble. You're going to have to call once now, right?
Definitely, unless it's a huge bet.
I like this bet from Shaggy, even though he doesn't have...
Oh, he moves in.
Wow.
That's a pretty interesting play, actually. It's almost like a semi-bluff.
I think he thinks he often has the best hand, which he does.
Right, so he's protecting his equity, and he might get to fold out Shaggy's exact hand here.
Yeah. He can fold out a few better hands. He can also sometimes get called by worse hands, I think. Ace King might decide to call
But
sometimes.
Shaggy makes the call. I guess
Nice
he's putting
hand.
Dank on clubs. That's a pretty loose call.
Yeah, you block 8-9. You block 6-8. It's really just clubs. At least you don't have the 8 of clubs in your hand.
Well, Dank is in trouble now. He needs a 4 or 5 or he's out.
And that is it.
It's an
There's the
8.
8 of clubs.
And Dank is our second elimination.
Wow, the people have been dropping fast in this one. We've already lost 2, and Action Aaron is super short.
Yeah. Going to be some big stacks in a hurry.
Yeah. That was a very surprising way that hand played out.
Well, maybe this is the Shaggy method that I was referring to earlier, how he always has a bunch of chips when I sit down at his table. Maybe a lot of the times he's gone before I have the chance to sit down at his table because he's always playing like this. He's playing these high variant spots, and, when he gets there, he's the chip leader.
He's just putting a lot of chips in no matter what. He's got a medium hand. Someone check raises all in. He calls. He has a medium hand. Someone just called on the flop. He bets again.
I don't hate that as an early tournament strategy.
Yeah.
Just like try to accumulate a bunch of chips. Take your spots.
I agree.
It's been effective. He's a successful player.
And, he's in that top tier of chip stacks here in this sit and go. Already down to 6? No. 7. No, 6 because we started with 8.
Yeah. Math is hard.
It is hard. It's hard to add and subtract. And I had to do at least one of those.
You don't know which one, though.
It doesn't matter now.
You can't name which one.
I can say it's definitely one of the 2.
Yeah.
And 2 is a number, and that's math.
Sure.
And I had to add or subtract to figure out that.
I'm going to have to teach you the concept of 0 sometime. That one's hard.
That sounds weird.
All right, so
I don't want to learn that.
Snuggie flops top pair, Thorpe flops bottom pair.
I think I like that Snuggie bet this, even though he's a weak kicker against Thorpe. Thorpe is apt to call with a huge range.
Thorpe's a bit stationy sometimes.
Yeah. Remember he had 6 deuce?
He's going to fold it, though.
Look at that.
I mean, he didn't have a ton of additional equity to his 10. If he had 10 jack or 10 queen, I imagine he would have called.
This is the kind of board that does hit Snuggie's range pretty well as well.
Yep.
I like that. Actually, I think that's a pretty cool fold by Thorpe. I wouldn't have expected it. And I don't know if it's actually optimal or not. It's pretty close, I would
It's
think.
a close one. It's definitely a close one. I mean, it's a tournament, like you said earlier. You don't get yourself in that many spots over time because your chips are so valuable.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose a little bit more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think we're about to enter the last hand of this episode.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're shutting it down, and we'll be back next week for a continuation of this sit and go, this $1,000 buy-in sit and go.
By the way, we've seen Cantu not really do much again, which is how we saw him perform in the other sit and go that he played in, where he was just waiting around
Early on.
Yeah.
He clearly has a different strategy than Shaggy.
Yes.
And it makes sense. I think it makes sense for Cantu to have this strategy, which is he doesn't need to play high variance early on. He's Brandon Cantu. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I just have to make it late, and it can work out for me. And that's reasonable.
Shaggy's going to open, and Aaron's going to call.
Sure.
Another thing I've noticed about Shaggy.
Whoa. Aaron's so
He's
so
super,
short.
super short.
Oh, you were going to say yes?
Oh, never mind. Let's just see how this plays out.
Okay. Well, that might be it for Aaron. He's so short.
He's crazy short, and Shaggy doesn't have to have an ace, obviously.
Shaggy does check it
back.
back.
And now Aaron has a slightly better hand in case Shaggy has 9s or 10s or
It
jacks.
goes check again.
How can Aaron
10 on the
avoid
river.
going broke here? Is it possible?
Well, let's see how much Shaggy bets. If he bets less than 1.1K, Aaron hasn't called yet, whatever the amount is. He does move him in.
Yeah.
I would absolutely be calling if I was Action Aaron and losing.
Yes.
I would be out. I would say, if you got it, you got it, but I would expect you to move in with all your bad hands here on the river after I check it 3 times.
But Action Aaron's
Aaron
going
he folds.
He's going to live to fight another day.
Wow.
He shows the 8 and not the queen, by the way.
That is really an extraordinary thing. I don't know if wow. This game's amazing.
It's great. Well, the chips really flew a lot faster than we've seen in previous sit and goes there. We already have 2 eliminations, and Action Aaron is hyper short. I don't know how he folded that last hand, by the way.
It seems impossible, but somehow, and he was right to do it, so nice job there, Action Aaron. You're still alive, but this may be the quickest sit and go we ever have.
Yeah, if it keeps going like this, I don't know. But there is some chip consolidation, so maybe it'll slow down a little bit. We'll see next time.